Okay, let's have a look at how to use layers. First thing we're going to do is open up a new file. Any size, it doesn't matter. Any size will work. This window here is the layer window. Right now we have the layer here, and we can use this little slider bar to change the opacity. This little window here is the brush sizes, and you got your watercolor brush and your blur brush and eraser brush. I like to use a thick brush when I draw certain things. So depending on what you draw, the different size brushes will be good, and it's good to use the watercolor brush for painting. I use the pencil pen brush for drawing line arts and things like that. So let's turn the opacity down to this so we don't have this. Well, actually, I'll leave it up for the demonstration. We're going to draw a big circle and draw an X in the middle of the circle. Now we turn the opacity down. That makes it kind of clear. Then we add a new layer in multiply mode. Make sure it's multiply mode. Now, anything that's drawn on the top of this layer that's selected will not affect the layer that's below here. So we're going to pick the watercolor brush, pick a bigger brush, go and maybe, let's use blue, use a blue color. And then I'll paint inside here. I'm using a mouse, by the way. I like to keep the tips of my fingers on the mouse so that I can use the left click button as freely as I like. And then my palm and my arm rests on the table so that I have better control of the mouse. And as you can see here, we can color, and I can mess with the opacity with this. And this other layer under here is not affected by it, and I can even erase, and this layer is still there. So let's try with something new. I'll open a new. We'll do a quick little anime kind of face, I guess you could call it. Okay, so we start with the basic. It'd be nice if I selected the pencil. Make sure you always select the pencil after you use the eraser. I did that a lot for some reason. We'll start with a nice big circle, as we did before. But this time it's going to be a 3/4 view, so you angle make it turn as it's coming in. So we'll do this. And then what I like to do is called the hair origin point. And it's usually right about here somewhere. So it moves with the hair. So I like to add the hair origin point right there. And what that's basically going to do is let us know where our hair is going to come out of, so that it's all even and it's all in the same place. And this circle here really just helps you to get a feel for the positioning and the proportions, but I really don't like using it that often. It also helps you orientate where you want to place the things on your face, because I usually have the nose depending on the 3/4 view. So we have a 3/4 view to the left. So I like to place the nose on this side of the line there. And now you've noticed that my face right here isn't covered by hair. One of the biggest mistakes is drawing your hair all in the face like that. And it's a good style if that's what you're going for. But we want to see the eyes. So let's make the eyes. Most people start by drawing the eye like this and then drawing a thing through it. But that's not how I do it. I start with this line here, and then I start about a little bit over. Very simple up and down line. Very, very simple eyes. Nothing too elaborate here. And you always want to make sure that the eyes are one eye length apart from each other. unless you're going for a look for them close together. And you've seen that I've done here with the eyebrows. The eyebrows can be, you know, anything from a thin little line to thick individual lines. I like to leave them thin because it's simple. The ear usually starts on this end of the circle here, but in real life, your ears are at the top of your eyebrows, where the bottom of your eyebrows is. So we'll put the ear in. Actually, let's make this an elf. Everybody likes elves, right? And that thing I just did with the ears, you just draw this line, make a little squiggly, and then add 2 lines to it. And that's all there is to it. And for the other ear, usually you have to kind of guess this one unless you've drawn it before. So they won't really show up. Let's see. The neck is usually just a curved line. And I don't like adding too much elaborate clothing because it just gets in the way. But we'll do that this time. I realize that arrow is still there. And what I'm doing now, you should probably not do. I'm just going by what I see in my mind's eye. I'm not using a skeleton for the body or anything like that, which is not something that you should do if you're new and this is something that you want to pick up. But it didn't come out what it was supposed to be like a you know, like a kind of like a Dracula kind of cape spawn thing. That's not how it came out, which is why you shouldn't do that. But it will come down and it closes in the front. Anyways, we'll get back to this. We're going to give him the infamous pointy hair that goes with having the bangs in the front. Pretty simple style to do. Just a bunch of cones, triangles angled that way. I'm going to give him one more. Now I can get rid of this skeleton because I don't need it anymore. It was just there for that reason. I forgot the mouth. The mouth really isn't too important. You can just bloop, and he's smiling, or you can, you know, whatever you want to do. Got a straight line, straight face. For the eyes, you can add another circle here, add another circle here. Now, that trick we showed you before with the layering, you just go to multiply mode, add another layer. This is rope and canvas. It's different in Photoshop. Blue eyes. How's that sound? Blue eyes sounds good. So we have some blue eyes. Okay, now we make another layer and then add a little bit of a darker color to that layer, and then that starts off right there. How'd that do? Now I've used the blur tool and that just kind of softens it up. There's not really a gradient tool that I like to use, but as you can see, they really come out nice when you use multiple layers instead of just mixing colors. And on this layer, you know, you can do his hair, his clothing, and whatever, and then you can do a separate layer, and then do skin tones, and then see how I can just color right there. And if I go over the lines a little bit, I can just erase it. You know, no harm done. And that is your basic layer technique.